Hi, and welcome to Jo Avalon's Cuppa Chats. It's been a while since I've recorded one of these, and therefore I'm a little out of sync. Normally I have, the intro organised, and I do that as part of the interview. But I was just excited to meet Michael and today's guest, and we just went straight into it. And then I thought, it doesn't matter, I'll just organise an intro later on, which is now. So today's guest is Michael Malacos. He's from Melbourne. This is his book, which I did introduce in the interview, discussion, talk. It's Where the Fuck Do Our Minds Go? Navigating the Paths Between Chaos and Clarity with Michael Malacos. And I came across this on purpose. My friend Rachel Skoltok messaged me a while ago and said that she had suggested that Michael come and chat with me about his book and send some copies so that I can take it around the countryside with me. And in the meantime, I've been unable to go around the countryside. So we decided to schedule this Cuppa chat anyway. And so we chatted for quite a while this morning, and so the purpose of having this chat was to talk about his new book. He brings a unique blend of real world experience and healing expertise to his work. He's worked for 35 years in the building industry, from pumping petrol to managing construction sites, multi-million-dollar homes and commercial properties, and he witnesses firsthand the toll that stress, harsh work environments and unresolved emotions can take on a person's mind and body. And I'm sure none of you here are strangers to the concept of what we don't resolve in our emotions start to play out on our body. Right? So over time, he loss of family members, the growing sense that his time in construction was over. Michael shifted his focus to healing and therapy. He's a hypnotherapist, a soul-based therapist and healer, and combines traditional techniques with deep personal insight. And he discovered how the mind stores pain and clutter, which he calls the tip, and how we can create new mental pathways to a healthier state that he calls the garden. So in this book, Michael shares practical tools and relatable stories to help you, the reader, identify negative thought patterns, clear emotional baggage, set healthy boundaries, there's that boundary word again, and reconnect with your core values and passions. His approach is straightforward, and the way he speaks is straightforward. No jargon or fluff. He often really offers actionable steps to help lighten our mental load and to make space for growth. So it was a fun conversation. He writes this for anyone tired of feeling stuck in negativity or overwhelm, and to take control of the mental landscape with simple, effective strategies. He's from Melbourne, and he continues to work with people on their path or on your path to clarity and peace. So if you enjoy our conversation and you're interested in a copy of the book, I have a few copies available, and I'll also pop Michael's contact details in our notes, wherever I'm going to be posting this in the notes, so that you're able to get a copy of the book as well. So I just wanted to share the endorsement because Rachel told me she'd written an endorsement, and that's how it came to be that she recommended I have a chat with Michael about it. She writes, Michael writes like the wise, honest friend we all need when we're searching for our light. Where the Fuck Do Our Minds Go is a powerful reminder of why cleaning up our mindset matters so much. With vivid metaphors, heartfelt stories, and simple yet practical steps, Michael offers insights you can actually use in daily life. Backed by lived experience and true wisdom, this book inspires real change and growth without guilt or overwhelm. A timely and much-needed guide to protecting your mind from negativity and reclaiming your inner strength. Angel blessings, Rachel Skoltok, angel medium, author, and teacher. So make yourself a cuppa, and I look forward to introducing Michael to you in a moment. We can become all professional in a minute, but yeah.
That will never happen.
In a spot that's comfortable.
That would never happen.
I know. Well, I don't bill these conversations as the most professional thing you've ever seen.
I just see
If
it
I
as just two people just talking.
I know, and if I get through it without dropping the F-bomb, well, that'll be the professionalism we're
No,
looking
that'd
for.
be me. That would be me. Oh,
So I'm just letting you know.
oh, right. So
The last one.
mathematically, I love the structure. I love putting things together. I love the mechanics of how things went together.
Yep.
And once I got to the structure, then I got bored, you know. So what? The roof goes on, plaster goes on,
Oh,
tiles and
that's when it becomes somebody else's job.
yeah, well, yeah, and it's just coordination with everyone.
Yeah.
But the exciting part for me is getting the structure together,
Yeah.
digging a
Yeah.
hole in the ground and bringing it up to the top. It
Yeah.
takes a lot of mathematics. And
Okay.
so I love that aspect of it. But yeah, I didn't like the industry for a long, long time. So there you go.
No, I can't kind of yeah, I can't imagine it's an easy industry at all to work in.
No,
And for any type of person, any type of
no.
person. But it sounds like you find making foundations and structure really um like I guess the most important thing. Anything else is kind of dressing or not window dressing, but pretty, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
it's the foundations and the structure.
that's the main thing. And the
Yeah,
thing is also, I gave you the soul profile reading, right?
you did, yes.
Your divine order and divine communication. So it's interesting how you're doing what you're doing, okay? Me being divine wisdom and divine order,
Yeah,
the building industry made so much sense because I looked at the order of things and how things go together.
yeah.
Plus, divine order has appreciation for beauty as well.
Hmm.
So I used to
Okay,
love so to me, the structure was the beautiful part
right.
of the pity that, it's like having a skeleton, putting everything around it, and you don't see the skeleton anymore. So
Yep,
the beauty was the structure for me.
yep.
And then, okay, you spruce it up and, give it its bits and pieces. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the things. I also saw a lot of, what do you call it again? 1 minute it's Chalk USA, the
Hmm.
next for colors, and then the next minute it's Antique White USA. So it
Oh,
sort of things progressed along the way.
yep,
So you saw trends. The dark kitchens with the light floors and all that sort of stuff. And then next thing you know, that would reverse and it'd be something different. And
yeah,
every year, so it's not like you're building the same thing.
yeah,
Building, and the beauty of building multi-million dollar homes was I would play with their toys and then give it back to them, like
yep,
big screen TVs and stereos, not stereo equipment, but audio equipment that's just out of this world, right?
yep, yep,
And I remember being in a place in Toorak and in Melbourne,
yep.
and the parents put on Jumanji,
Oh,
and the part. Have you seen Jumanji at all?
oh, bits and pieces of it. I don't think
Right.
I've sat through the whole thing.
Yeah, there's
Sorry.
a part where all the elephants and everything run through and start
Yep,
smashing up the house, right? Well, the
yep.
kids ran out because they thought that the elephants were coming through
Oh no.
because
Wow.
the audio equipment was so good.
Yep.
They
It
come
sounded
out.
very in the moment, like in the place itself. Wow.
I thought
Good
that was
job.
funny. Yeah, so
Good
um,
job.
I love that part of it. Then I used to take the kids to jobs I'd finish and they go, "Oh, can we go to that house with 7 toilets?"
These are special memories that your children have.
Yeah, they go, "Why 7 toilets?" I go, "Well, you can be wherever you want and have a poop." What can I
That's
say?
right. You could all at the same time. I don't know what the plumbing is like, but definitely you could all have a go at the
Take,
same time.
take your pick. Which one do I want to use today? Hang on.
That's right. Morning. Oh God, I'm like my head's just going to go off in a wrong tangent there. Thank you.
But the interesting part, I worked I worked on a lot of building sites, but even as a kid, my parents one time wanted to leave, and I think I've written this bit in the book
Mhm.
where they wanted to leave where we were living and go to another suburb.
Mhm.
And it was quite a thing that the Greeks did. Like they all lived in Richmond in a suburb and they went out. Like today it's suburbia. Back then it's sort of like away from everything.
Yep.
And we went to a few houses and I would get headaches. And walk in, mom goes, "What's wrong?" I go, "Oh, I've got a headache. Let's get out of here." And I'm only what, 13 years of age.
Yep.
And mum used to always look at me going, "Okay, we're not buying this bloody place, you know." And
Mm-hmm.
they decided to renovate the house. And many, many years later, she turned around and said to me, "Remember you used to get headaches all the time?" I go, "Yeah." So there was one particular house, this big mansion, and I walked in, I started getting a migraine. I thought, what's going on here? So I spoke to a mate, and he was he still is, I should say, a medium, and and he said you
Yep.
have to tell them your intent so they can leave you alone. So obviously I
Oh,
was picking up energies,
yeah.
and I never realized it. And I said,
Yeah.
what do I do? And he says, you go where you feel is the epicenter of the energy, and you tell them that your intent to renovate the home. I said, okay. So I went to the bottom of this huge curved staircase, and nobody was on site. And I just said, I want to finish this place with integrity. I want to bring it back to the good old days. I want you to leave me alone. I'm more than happy for you to observe us, but do not touch us, do not disturb us.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went in the back of the place, and I felt like there was an Aboriginal burial ground as well. I
Right.
just said to him, I didn't do welcome to the country, I'll tell you that. But
No.
I just said, I'll finish the house with integrity. That moment onwards, I could walk in and out of the house, not an issue.
Right.
And one day one of the guys comes up to me and he goes, "Is this place haunted?" And I went, "Why is that?" Because we're hearing footsteps everywhere. And I started laughing because we're
Um,
laughing at it. And I told him, I thought, do I tell him, don't I tell him? Because back then, and
yeah.
we're talking 2008.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
sort of unheard of to talk about energies, and now a lot of people talk about it. And I didn't know much about it, and I told him,
Mm.
and he says, "Oh, that's okay." And the guy who had the house in the early 1900s was called Henry, and he had Marchant's Lemonade and Sacks of Salt. He was from England.
Yep.
And so the guys used to walk around, Henry, Henry. They used to go like this, like, shut up, idiots.
I was thinking they were talking to him. It might
No,
have been someone else altogether.
that's right. And then one night the alarm goes off. I'm going, oh my God. And I could hear stuff going on upstairs. And the hairs on the back of my neck are just standing up and going, oh my God,
Yeah.
am I going to see poltergeist or something? A
Yeah.
bird had flown in.
Don't take yourself too seriously, Michael.
Oh, and then it took an hour for the bloody thing to get out. It
Oh
get to
no.
the window, go,
No.
just above you is the
Just,
opening.
just go back the way you came in.
So
Trying
yeah,
to hurt. Yeah.
it swooped up from the bottom through the lift shaft and then ended up on the top floor.
Oh,
So yeah, so interesting times in the industry
yeah.
with the energy
Yeah. Yeah.
and all that. Yeah.
So you talk about connection in your book.
Yes.
Yeah. So you were talking in your book, you introduce two concepts, the tip and the garden,
Yeah.
and they kind of, well, actually, we should probably even mention the book.
Hang on.
Hang on, where's your copy? There we go.
Hang on.
Oops. There
This
we go. No,
bloody
no, no. You've got a special thing on, haven't
no,
you?
no. Yeah, it's not really
Well,
my
I
lounge
know.
room. It's not really my lounge room.
Oh, I was disappointed. I was thinking,
No.
what? Hang on a minute. That's not really it.
I should put one on the up there.
No, no, no. It looks good as it is.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
because you got your Michael Malacos on that side, and then
I'll put my
you
book on
need
the
the
other
book.
side. I'll have all my 10 books up there one day.
Yeah, that's it. So we're here today talking about your book,
Yeah.
which is Where the Fuck Do Our Minds Go?
Yeah.
Navigating the Paths Between Chaos and Clarity.
Hmm.
Um, and and so in that you introduce the two concepts of the tip and the
Gun.
garden.
Yeah.
Um, and so I have to confess I haven't finished the book,
How
your
dare
book.
you?
I know.
No,
I know. I'm confessing. I'm getting it out of the
I know
way.
you've been busy. That's fine. Not an
No, no,
issue.
no, no. But I'm almost through the two, like the introducing the two and the whole detail around. But do you want to just quickly summarize, or not quickly, but summarize the tip and the garden and
So,
why, what, I guess, how you got to those two concepts and why you see them as, I guess, so distinct.
It's interesting because I've been wanting to write a book for since I was a young kid,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what to write.
Right.
I just knew I wanted to write a book.
Nice.
And so the last 10 years, I was like, gotta write that book, gotta write that book. And it was like a daily thing, like, gotta write that book, gotta write that book. But I had no idea what to write. But I was writing a blog, like a builder's blog, but I was using the building industry as a metaphor for life.
Right.
And I love doing metaphors, as
Yep.
you know, in the book. Um, so I left the industry, building industry in 2018.
Yep.
And not long after that, I did and I thought I could write the book then, but something was stopping me. But,
Mm.
but for the next 8 years or 7 years or whatever, I'd write like a chapter and I'd get sort of like an idea and I would write it. I'll write the whole thing and I'd do it in a couple of hours, a chapter,
Yep.
bang.
Yep.
And before you know it, I had all these things scattered all over the place, ideas, and just didn't know how to put it together.
Yep.
And so what happened in 2018, I thought to myself, I'll just go and get a past life regression, something I wanted to do because
Yep.
I read Dr. Michael Newton's book back in 1992 or three,
Yep.
and I had no idea about past lives. So
Yeah.
And then it just made so much sense to me. So I did the past life, and then within a couple of weeks, I get this thing saying, "How would you like to become a soul-based therapist?" And I thought, "Oh, okay." So I did the course, and of course, the course went through COVID. So one minute you can have 10 people, next minute you can only have 5 people, all this sort of stuff. But to get the course, you have to do prac in the classroom. So it's not just, I think it was like 40 odd um, things that we had to do. What do you call it? What are they called?
Lectures, sessions.
Yeah, things that we had to sort of hand in.
Oh, assignments.
Assignments. Yeah, that's the word. A guy was out of the school for so long.
That's it. Thought I'd finished school. Done.
No, but this was enjoyable at least,
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You wanted to be there.
Yeah. So, it's energy, hypnotherapy,
Mm.
counseling, and
Wow.
it just encompassed a whole lot. And back when I first started, I was sort of like a one-trick pony.
Hmm.
And and I was helping people, but I had no, and if I wrote the book back then, it would have been a book from ego,
Yep.
showing you, hey,
Yep.
Joe, look how great I am. Look
Yeah.
how clever I am. Look
Yeah.
at this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank God I didn't. And maybe that's probably why it wasn't coming through.
Yeah.
And I went and did a writer's course in 2019 and met some lovely people. And this beautiful woman, Anne Wade, was talking to me about writing a book and getting a story out, and I'm going, go for it, go for it. Of course, I didn't take her advice, did take my own advice, I should say. So
Oh,
Alicia's
none of us have
gone,
ever done that.
nah, Alicia's gone gangbusters. She even calls herself Dr. Gratitude.
Yes.
And
Yes, I read that.
she's
Yes.
she's beautiful. And so Sydney Sullivan was my a friend. And I thought I was going to do my book with her
Hmm.
to be my publisher, but Sydney then decided not to. So last year, I met up at the Mind Body Spirit with Alicia, and she says, "Right, you're going to write down how many chapters, you're going to write down what they are, and all the rest of it." And I thought,
Uh-huh. Getting
"Oh,
some structure happening.
yeah, yeah." And she goes, "And you're going to do it by this date." And it's like, "Oh
Oh
man,
no,
don't want to do this."
structure and deadlines.
Yeah. So what happened was I did a session with a therapist one time, and she introduced, "Does your mind go to the tip or does it go to the garden?"
Oh,
And that was always in the back of my mind. And I thought, yeah, so, when you're all upset and everything, you go to the
you do.
and then when you're all, zenned out or whatever, you go to the garden. And I go, right, okay. And that sort of stuck with me as well. So when I started writing down the chapters, all of a sudden, like 80% of what I've written beforehand started slotting into chapters, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then somehow I thought, what's the overall theme here?
Mm.
So the metaphorical story of going to the tip and going to the garden is what encompasses the whole book. So I
Yep.
always refer back to, if you think like this, you
Go
go
to
to
the
the tip
tip.
of the garden. And
Yep.
then there's a book called TED, TED.
Yep.
And back then he introduced the victim triangle. I don't know if you know the victim triangle.
Yes, I read that. Yes.
Yes. So that's from, I can't remember his name, but the book is called TED. So it's either victim, persecutor, rescuer.
Yep.
So if you're persecuting someone, you're a victim. If you're if you become, the person that runs around and people pleases and tries to help everyone, you're a victim as well. Yes. Right? That hit me too. I thought, oh my God, how
Oh,
many,
interesting. Yes.
that really, really hit me. So then with that, it's like, okay, when you're a persecutor, you're in the tip. When you're a people pleaser, run around trying to please everyone, you're a victim, you're in the tip. And until I realized that, so the great thing about the stuff that I've what do you call it again, learnt and teach when I've got my clients, that all encompassed into the tip in the garden metaphorical story.
Yeah.
So if you look at the front cover, the front half of the front cover is the mind going to the tip, and
Yeah.
the other
That
half,
this bit.
yeah, and the other half going to the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So my
And you
oldest,
can see that with the half of the face as well.
yes.
This is sort of
So
a bit withered, and this is more lifeful.
that's right. And my
Mm.
my oldest is a great artist, Jet.
Yes.
I said, Jet, I want you to do the front cover.
Yeah.
Jet goes, oh, and
Nice.
I said, no, I want you to do it. So Jet's just sitting next to me with the iPad, drawing away, and said, what kind of face do you want? I said, whatever face, but this is what I want. This is the concept.
Yeah.
And before you know it, within half an hour, that came through.
Wow.
I'll make that face a bit dull on this side, so it looks like,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
depression or whatever, wherever we go to in the tip. And then we've got the garden. So that's how the front cover came through. And of course, I wanted like a bit of a controversial uh, with the F word in it, because I'm an ex-builder. Come on.
I
And
know. Look, if you were too polite, I'd be going, I don't think this guy's very authentic.
no, 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 no. You wouldn't want to hear me on a good day. And but then the whole book, I think there's only one swear word in the whole book.
I haven't read any of
I
it.
think I've,
I
I've
mean,
got,
any noticed of that? Yeah.
I've got I just got what the fuck,
I
WTF.
think so. That's it. That's it.
That's about the extent of my swearing in the book. But so don't think you're going to be
Just because you
reading.
can doesn't mean you have to.
No, that's right. So don't think you're going to pick up the book and start reading F this and F that.
Okay,
No.
this is good.
Yeah.
No.
So so the so just having that metaphorical story,
Yeah.
everything slotted into 14. No, actually, I was going to start with 10 chapters. I thought I'd just do 10 chapters and
Yeah.
that would be good. And as I was doing things, it's like these downloads were just coming through.
Mm.
How about this and how about that and how about this? I'm going, okay. And so it's ended up as 14 chapters.
Yeah.
I mean, ended up writing 4 extra chapters, but that's okay. But what
Yeah.
people don't probably realize is I've lost the eyesight on this eye.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
can only see through one eye. So I did it with that. Plus I had arrhythmia. So,
Mm.
so within 3 months, I wrote the book and just getting up every day and just writing.
Yeah.
And then the concepts would just come through and then
Yeah.
there'd be ideas, oh, how about this and how about, and then write things down. And then some days it just became too much that I just go, you know what? I'm just going to leave it alone and I'll come back in a couple of days. And how many times have you got a problem?
Yes.
You've been at it for hours and you walk
Yes.
away and within 10 minutes, like, oh,
Oh. Of course, I'll do that.
Yeah. So
You can't
before,
you can't force things, and it's a concept, isn't it, that you
no,
just can't force an energy.
no,
You have to like let go. It's like as soon as you grip it, it doesn't want to be there. As you let go and
yeah,
do something else, take your mind off it completely.
yeah. It's interesting because because there's I don't know if have you heard Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd?
I know of the song. I'm not a Floyd
The
fan, but
whole
I know of the
no,
song.
I'm not
Sorry.
saying you have to be a Floyd fan, but you should be. No, I'm joking. With the Pink Floyd album, it was designed for a vinyl record,
Yes,
not for a CD.
correct.
Do you know why?
I imagine that you would flip it over and have something else on the other side.
That's it. The physical part of listening to the first side, getting
Yes.
up,
Yeah.
flipping the vinyl, putting
Yeah.
it back down, and then starting again, that little break, because there's so much information on the first album that when you listen to
Right.
the whole thing on CD, it's just too much. Flipping
Right.
it over, it breaks up the album, and then you're
Ah.
able to listen to the second album with fresher ears or, with a fresher
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that's what happens with our brains sometimes. We just have to just sit back,
Yeah.
have that little pause,
Yeah.
and then all the ideas start to flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other thing is when people get emotionally involved with something, their
Yeah.
emotions are so high, they come and see me, say, as a therapist, and I just go, how about that? And they just go, oh my God. And I go, how did you figure that out? I said, because I'm not emotionally involved.
That's it. I'm not swimming in
Right?
the emotional pool.
No. How many times someone said, hey, what are you doing? You go, what? And next thing you go, oh my God, I've gone to the tip.
That's it.
You
That's it.
know,
See you at the
yes, that's it.
tip.
So then, with the tip, I then decided, right, what's it look like in the tip? It's smelly, it's yucky, there's seagulls going around, there's depression pit, and then there's all it, and I write about, and that's
Different
all
sections
just,
there. Yeah.
it's not exactly what goes in a tip, but to me, what would it be like, you know,
Yeah.
metaphorically to be in a tip?
Yeah.
And
And there
so,
are cliffs and valleys and hills and rocky sections and
yeah,
all of that.
so my just, and the great thing is my imagination just took over of what I felt was
Mm.
right. Now,
Mm.
other people will have their own interpretation of the tip. At least you know that there's the depression pit, and then there's
Yeah.
the valley of this,
Yeah.
and just know that it's not a great place to be.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
talk about neural pathways, how we have, like someone says something to us, and we've got a neural pathway that takes us to anger,
Yeah.
and we lose it,
Yeah.
right? And it's just an automatic thing. And it's because it's years and years of going to the tip and creating
Yeah.
this pathway.
Yeah.
And so what happens when you don't walk on a path? The grass grows over it, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
it no longer,
Absolutely. Yep.
that's what happens with neuroplasticity and with our mind. As soon as we create a different what do you call it, pathway in our brain, the
Yeah.
old pathway dies off. So you no
Yeah.
longer become trigger happy to lose your temper like you did
Yes.
when you don't use it. So
Yeah.
I talk about that. Now, to do that, you have to have clarity. If you don't have clarity, it's like being in what do you call it, a mountain of shit, a cloud of shit, I
It's
should say. And
that's it. A cloud of it. Yep.
a cloud of shit. You're just in the cloud of shit, and you just can't see your way out of it. But if,
No.
if you stood up above it, you would
Yep.
look at your shit below and go, "Oh my God, look at what I've created." And that's clarity.
Yeah.
And I talk about that as well. And it's like then when you start talking to people and you can see yourself going to the tip, you go, "Oh, I'm going to the tip here." You can pull yourself back. I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect,
Yeah.
but it's like
Yeah.
being aware that you're doing.
No.
And awareness is another one. Like if you're aware of what you're saying and what you're doing, you go, that is actually what I'm doing here. Oh, where am I feeling it? Well, I feel in my chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many people feel They don't feel, they think.
Mm. Mm.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
I'm a number one, you know, I'm guilty of that as well. But through the years,
Absolutely.
I've had to learn to feel because women feel, men think.
Well, I'm a big thinker as well, so
Yeah.
it's something that it's like a, I guess, circuit breaker. It's just like, oh, hang on, where am I? What do I feel about that? What do I
Mm,
feel about that? As well as what do I think about that? And then kind of try and work forward from that.
yeah.
So, um, when do you start sort of setting yourself off in a different direction to the garden? How do you kind of do that?
By
This is where you,
by changing the neuro pathways that you've created.
yeah.
So that's why I talk about your identity. Who
Hmm.
are you?
You do, yes.
Right?
Yep.
So identity is from the moment you're born to the age 7. We've got a little filter in our brain.
Yeah.
Some see it as a filter, some see it as a gate, and everything goes into the subconscious mind because we're in the alpha brainwave state.
Hmm.
Okay, alpha brainwave state is the so you see kids, you know, all the time, and I hate when people say, "Stop daydreaming." Well, the
Yeah.
daydream state is the natural state of a child.
Yeah.
So the filter's open to around about the age 7. So by the age of 7, you've learnt a language, you've learnt habits, you've learned beliefs, you've learnt all this stuff by the age of 7.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of your life, you keep referring back to those beliefs and to
Yeah.
identity,
Yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
your parents might have said, "Oh God, you're being silly." And in your mind, you've gone, "I'm done.
Mm. Mm.
I'm useless. I'm
Mm.
horrible."
Mm.
And then what happens is you go to school and the teacher then says something like, "You're horrible." And aha, see, evidence.
Mm. Yep.
And that's the filing cabinet of the past. The filing cabinet comes out,
Mm.
aha, evidence here, put back the filing cabinet. You get to
Yep.
14, 21, whatever, and
Yep.
you keep getting into situations where people say things to you,
Yep.
right? And again, you start believing it because out comes the filing cabinet of the past, and you refer back to that identity that you created by the age of 7.
Yep.
So when they talk about inner child work, there's a lot of healing that's got to be done in the
Yeah.
child,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So they're
And
not
I
making
and I guess
sense
you're
here.
not wanting to change your identity, but understand how your identity is formed and what you might want to do differently from here on.
Correct, because the subconscious mind does not want to change,
Mm.
doesn't like change at all,
No. And even
right?
though the old patterns are really painful, they're old
Yeah,
patterns and we're going to do them.
yeah. And I write about that going across a bridge. And there's your old self yelling back at you,
Mm.
going, "Don't go there, don't go there." And it's like you
Yeah.
can see your
Trying
future.
to reel you in. Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, "No, it's safer over here. It's, comfortable. It
Yeah.
really is. No, no, no." And you're in two worlds. It's like, do I go back and just be the miserable self?
Yeah.
Or do I go to a future that's scary and I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on and it's not familiar? So how
Yeah.
do people then self-sacrifice themselves or self-sabotage themselves and
Yeah.
go back to the old identity
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's safe.
Yeah.
But some people go, "You know what? I'm sick and tired of this.
Yep.
I'm not going to this bloody tip anymore. I want to
That's it.
go forward in life." And then this is the thing, where there's discomfort, that's where growth is. Comfort, there's no growth. Comfort is comfort. But sometimes after a long term of discomfort, you need a break. So
Absolutely. Yep.
yeah, but either you stay in the comfort zone for a long, long time and then nothing happens, or you then go, "You know what? It's time to get uncomfortable and get into discomfort again and
Yep.
keep moving." Or some people, they get to an old age and they just live in one room because it's safe and they don't go out at night. They
Yep.
just stay in their room doing the same routine, seeing the same people
Yep.
because it's comfortable.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. Mm. But I'd rather go the garden.
I'd rather that too. So the garden is the place where, what you plant, what you sow,
Yep.
what's the old, religious thing? What you sow is what you reap.
Yes.
you know?
Yes. There's an interesting card in the tarot, actually, and I use an angel tarot deck, and it's the Seven of Pentacles, and it's about it's this woman who in the image, it's a woman who's planting a garden, and it's about nurturing what you plant and having patience to see that it's going to it's going to, it's going to grow. You don't pull up a plant to see if the seedling is sprouting or anything, right?
Yeah.
So you got to like be planning what it is that you're wanting, and then planting the seeds and then tending and nurturing it and coming back and not disturbing it, but just sort of nurturing and making sure that the plants grow in the way that you've planned, or that you
Yeah.
would, or that they are meant to. They are meant to. So
Yeah.
when you write about that in your book, that was the image that came up in my
Oh,
head.
okay. That's great.
Mm,
I love that.
mm, mm.
That's great. It's amazing when you talk about something and the way I see it is a totally different way to other people see it.
Right.
Like if I
Yeah.
said to you, think of a red letterbox,
Yeah.
I might see it as a metal one. You might see it as a timber one. It
Well,
doesn't.
actually, I'll tell you what I did see when you said that. My
So,
girlfriend's over in England at the moment, and she's sending back pictures of red telephone boxes. So when you said red letterbox, I went, "Oh, red! No, that's a telephone box, not a letter."
and so who's right and wrong? Nobody.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
know? I did a hypnosis on someone the other day, and I've got the steps to success,
Yeah.
weight loss, and we're going up steps. But for her, she went somewhere else.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Was that right?" I said, "There's no right or wrong in hypnosis. It's whatever you think and
Yeah.
feel. And if that's
Yeah.
where you wanted to go, that's great." I said, "I never would have thought of that in a million years because that's not the way I think.
No.
But if
No.
it's right for you, it's perfect." And
Yeah.
same with the garden. Garden doesn't have to be this perfect, pristine garden. It can be like at the bush
Yeah.
where there's plants and stuff just intertwining with each other, but it's still beautiful, isn't it?
Yep.
So
Yep.
the garden can be whatever you want, and that's a place of rest, a place of your mind, where it can actually just think and feel
Mm-hmm.
and have time out from.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being in drama, staying out of drama.
Mm.
And like I've written a book, if I've got something against you, Joe, I
Mm-hmm.
will then put it on Facebook, Joe is a bitch, you know, and
Oh.
I'll make sure that I get communal agreement to that. And all these people, yeah, Joe's a bitch, and all
Well,
these people,
sorry, you'll be hard pressed to get communal agreement
I
on that. I
know
have to tell
that.
you right now for
I'm just
free.
saying the other Joe. I'm talking about the other Joe.
Well, another joke. Oh, well, okay then.
But you know what I'm saying? And then all
I
of a sudden,
do. I'm
all these
winding you
people
up.
are jumping in and the whole lot, all going to the tip.
Yeah, that's
Just
right. It's so
because
easy.
so you've got the persecutor who's the victim
Mm, mm,
telling everybody, come with me, like the Pied
mm.
Piper,
Yeah.
and everybody jumps on board. And I just go, you know what? I just want to go to the garden.
Yeah, that's it. I'm off to the garden with my
Oh,
coffee and my book.
stuff this for a joke. I just want to be with the sunshine, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's where I want to be. And this
yeah.
is the thing about social media, all this
Mm,
righteousness.
mm,
Have I done it? Yes, I have. And I've
mm,
woken up to, oh my God, I'm being a persecutor now. Oh man,
mm.
you know, because
Yeah,
it's an old habit, it's an old thought, it's an old
yeah.
whatever it is, like I forgive, but I never forget. You know?
Well,
So what did I see the other day? Um, one of the CFMEU guys, which is in the construction,
I know. I used to work in the union movement. Yep.
yeah. So they've got a t-shirt, God forgives, the CFMEU doesn't. And I'm like, are you serious? You know what I mean? Isn't that persecution? Maybe you got to take this bit out
Mm.
so I don't end up in a concrete pour. But anyway,
That's it. Well, we won't put a hashtag CFMEU on it then,
no,
shall
we
we?
won't do that. I'm not saying they're bad, but to
No,
put
I know, I know. Well, look, it's interesting actually because I worked in the union movement for about 3 years
right.
and peripherally for a couple more years through my old job. And I think I ended up burning out. And when I emerged and looked back and was able to look back without the charge that came from the experience,
Mm,
I I realized how adversarial it is, and how it needs to be adversarial, I guess, to be able to push through um, the really serious transgressions in a work site of
Yes.
any sort. You know, building. I was in the community sector, so you wouldn't
Ah,
believe the sort of things that went on
yeah.
in workplaces there, um, all stemming from the same power control, issues that people have or working through. Um, and I'd sort of like wonder why it couldn't be more. I want to say consensual. I don't think that's the word.
Mm.
Consensus, not
Okay.
consensual, but consensus making, rather than it's all of this and all of that. I know there's negotiation and things, but it very adversarial and very hard to kind of move from a position of, well, you've done the wrong thing to us and therefore we're going to do this back
Yeah.
until it's all righted, you know. Very hard, and it's very
It
sort of
is.
very black and white, and and yeah,
I
loved my
saw
time
that.
there, but it was a very stressful and
It is.
what do I say? Uh, quite enlightening, actually. I look back at with a lot of fondness
Yeah.
and much more awareness now, um, but and very easy to sit in the tip. I do remember saying once um, that I was concerned. I can't remember who I said it to, but I know I said it to myself many times. If I keep going in this job, I will become either an alcoholic, a druggie, or divorced.
Yeah. Yep.
And
100%.
that awareness there, because that's what I could see in my colleagues around me,
Yeah.
and in the way that we had to work in order to support our members and things. And that doesn't mean to say that unions are bad or that we shouldn't be a part of them. They do
Mm.
lots of good work
Oh,
as a
totally
movement.
agree.
We
Yes.
wouldn't have all the things that we have without them. So I'm not
Yeah.
saying that, but as an individual who is sensitive,
Yeah.
and I wasn't aware of that, how sensitive
Yeah.
and why it was such a bad work environment for someone like me.
Yeah.
Um, um, why did I get onto that? We were talking about forgiveness and stuff like that. So that's interesting that it when you have a position, it's very hard to pull back from that position and move around it or go to something else.
There's also a
Sorry.
choice. There's also a choice, Joe. And
Yeah.
so when here I am, 19 years old, back in 1982,
Hmm.
and first time on a building site, and I worked in the commercial side for the first 8 years, so multi-story buildings and all that.
Yeah.
And back then it was the Builders Labourers Federation.
Yeah.
They were running amok, and then they got deregistered. It was just anyway, it was hard work. It was hard
Yeah.
enough being on a building site. So
Yeah.
my first day of introduction was, and I can't do the swear words that they told me. So very first day I was called a dog, the lowest of low, no
Mm.
rights, and a whole heap of words
Other
with,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
but- and I just looked at these guys going, who came up with that? I was 19. And of course you weren't allowed to say anything. I'm an apprentice,
No.
shut your mouth, don't say anything.
Um,
And
yeah.
then if you took initiative, don't you do that ever again. Because I
Yeah.
would shut them up, and
Yeah.
they didn't like that. So it became frustrating. And then for some reason, I just decided I'm not going to bring this bitterness to the next part, the people that are going to come and work with me, like the
Mm.
apprentices, anyone
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
workforce. So of course, I for some reason I became a counselor, a teacher, a friend,
Mm. Mm.
and always helping people
Yeah.
in the industry.
Right.
I could have chosen to be that bitter, twisted person
Yeah.
and bring the next part to the next apprentice, call him
Yeah.
a dog, calling him
Yeah.
rights, call him every other name under the sun. But I
Yeah.
just decided for whatever reason the buck stops with me.
So you without having words or framework for it had already decided that you didn't want your work site to be a tip. You
No,
wanted your work site to be a garden.
yeah. So if ever people used to work on my building sites, we had fun.
Yeah.
crack jokes. Oh, the amount of jokes, laughing, and there was one job site I walked onto. It was a commercial job, and the site foreman there was just, he just shouldn't have been there in the first place. And I took over from him.
Yeah.
And then what I would do is, and then it was always every day was a strike. This is bad, that's, and I go, okay. So then I just decided, okay, beer o'clock is 4 o'clock. Now we're talking 1980s, 85, 86. So beer o'clock was 4 o'clock. So the guys would then buy beer
Oh,
and after work and sit there. I would have one stubby and I go, right, boys, finish off and close the door. Of course, open up the door next day, stinking of beer and everything, get rid of all the stubbies. But that was my way of getting him back on track. And then we had one time, have you ever had a hungy? It's a New Zealand thing where they dig a hole in the ground and they have a fire and they bring beef and everything, and then they put a wet cloth around it and they cover it over, and it's like a pressure cooker type thing. And then after a couple of hours, you take it out, and all the meat is it's got the earthy taste of the earth. And so did stuff like that on site and brought the site back to the point where we had fun, and it was great.
right.
That's the other thing I write in the book about is choice, how we choose.
Mm.
And sometimes we don't think we have a choice. But I was watching something the other day and it said there's you know, in the world they present things to you.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yes.
Now, whether you
Uh-huh.
accept it or not, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Go into debt, buy an investment property, buy
Yeah.
a car,
Yeah.
get a dead end job for the rest of your life
Yeah.
until you
To pay for it
retire,
all.
right?
Yeah.
So there's all these offers, okay? So it's up to you to take that offer or not, or go back to how you were brought up. Being of Greek heritage, you've got to buy a house,
Mm.
right? So you've got to buy a house. So, okay, so I'm going to buy a house and then, retire at 60 and then I'm going to have fun,
Mm.
and how many people I know had heart attacks at 60 and then some of them died
Never
at
got to have
70.
fun.
They never got to have
Yep.
fun. This
Yeah.
happened, that happened,
Lots.
cancer, this and that. So
Yeah.
everything's on
Yeah.
offer, and it's up to you as to have the choice. The
Yep.
choices in life. You can sit there and bitch and whinge about, oh, life's unfair, life's like this. But what offer did you take? You
Mm.
know,
Mm.
did you take the offer to work like a slave for the rest of your life? Or
Mm.
did you take the offer just to, cruise through life? So we can turn around and say those people that are on getting Centrelink or bludgers or whatever, no, they've taken the offer of, I want to have a cruisy life or whatever reason.
Whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of reasons.
there's
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
lot, lot of reasons. So at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you can sit there and persecute these people because they're not doing what your upbringing
Yeah.
was, and
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
what you were told the offer is this. And I
Mm.
thought, wow, isn't that interesting? So there's always this thing that goes in your mind. Oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Aren't I doing the right thing? Because you go back to your identity, you go back to your beliefs and everything that were done by the age of 7.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think how do you work with your identity now? Like what what
Trying to
what
find out
what
who
is it
you
that you
are,
can do to pardon?
who you are. Like
Mm.
how many and I'll say women, how many women
Mhm.
get married, have children, run around here, run around there, children all now they're in their 20s, the whole lot, and the wife goes, I don't even know who I am anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Because for 20 odd years, you've been identified as a wife
Mm.
and
Wife and a mother. Yep.
a wife and a mother. So your identity is that. Is that who you really are?
Mm. Mm.
Who are you really?
Mm. Mm.
Who
They're
are you
hard
as
questions, aren't they?
yeah, like
They're
who are
hard
you as
questions to answer.
not just who you are personally, but who are you as a soul,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Why did you come here
Yeah.
as a soul? What, did you
Yeah.
just come here just have kids and what have you? And that's okay. I'm not saying it's wrong, but
No.
yeah, yeah, I've seen so
Is
many
it the full
people,
expression? Is it the full expression of a soul's journey here on earth? Yeah.
100%. And then you get
Mm.
women, I'm lost because I don't know who I am anymore
Yeah.
because they've lost their identity because the
Yeah.
kids are gone.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then of course then
Yeah.
you've got the men who I'm the breadwinner. I go out, you know, don't crucify me everybody for this one, but I'm saying that's what it was like in my day with my parents. It's like work seven
Yeah.
days a week, bring home the bacon, have no life, and just
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
pay off
Yeah.
your house. Because once you've paid off your house, you're successful. You know,
Yeah. Wow.
it's
Mm.
you've
Yeah.
got the pinnacle now of everything. And
That's it.
but then, I looked at my dad. Dad at 60 had a heart attack because he was a two pack. He used to smoke 2 packs a day, and then
Gosh.
he then slowly retired to 65. Mum passed away at 79. Dad got to
Yeah.
96. So the
Yeah.
years that
Wow.
mum had passed away, he was on his own.
Yeah.
But then when I got divorced, I lived with him the last 7 years of his life at home with him, and it was great because my kids would come over and live for 2 weeks, and he'd have the kids in the house, and I lived in the
Yeah.
bunk
Wow.
in the back of the house, so it worked out
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I would see him every day. He would see the kids,
Yeah.
and he would just light up. Every
Yeah.
time he saw my
Nice.
children, tell me he loved them. Never told me what. Only told me once he loved me. And I
By
didn't.
proxy, he loved you. He loved your kids, so he loved you.
It didn't matter because every time he'd say I love you to my kids, it was a reflection of me.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so there's a man who worked all his life and everything for what?
Mm.
Because he identified himself as working 7 days a week
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
sacrificing his life for the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's just one aspect of it. So who
Yeah.
was he as a person? He was a lovely man, quiet. People respected him. People loved him. Um,
Yeah.
and so who was he as a person? Who was he as a soul?
Yeah.
And we forget
Yeah.
who we are.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We take the offers without realizing, like you took the offer of working 3 years. Yeah, okay. You can turn around and say it was horrible, whatever, but you got something out of it. That discomfort,
It was wonderful and horrible at the same time.
yes.
Exactly.
And that whole
Exactly.
discomfort is what's created
Yeah.
who you are today. 36
Yes.
years in the industry is what created who I am today
Yeah.
in that aspect. And in the last 8 years, doing what I'm doing with soul-based therapy and hypnosis and
Yep.
what I do, that's created who I am today. But each and every day I wake up and see different aspects of myself, who I am,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and why I came here for. Um,
Yep.
and you
Yep.
say to be
Yep.
of service to people, yeah, be of service, but don't be a people pleaser.
Don't be a doormat servicing.
Correct. And my dad did that.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I
Yeah.
used to see
Wow.
him, and he'd go out and help people, and they wouldn't pay him.
You said that. I read that. He would lend them tools and they'd never come back. Your mum would cook like cookies, Greek biscuits and things,
Yeah,
and not even get the plates back.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
both sort of
we're
giving a lot
talking
of. Yeah.
we're talking like 20 mountains of with cellophane and stuff. And my dad used to do the
Yum.
deliveries. And but you get nothing back for it. Not that you
Oh my
expect
gosh.
it, but one
No,
person,
no, 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 that's right. But an appreciation, at least returning the plates, man, so
yeah,
I
at
can do it
least
again for you next year.
give me the plates back. Or do you
See,
expect dad to
we
go and
used
pick
to
them
do
up?
a family gathering at Christmas time, and we'd all have to write names on the bottom of the plates to make sure at the end of the night, when it's all washed up, you get your own plate back. You know,
I love that.
yeah,
I love that. So,
yeah,
again, my mother was a people pleaser.
yeah, So that
Unfortunately,
must have been hard patterning to break then, to have both parents being people pleasing.
yeah,
But there's a sense of resentment and obligation that comes with that people pleasing as well, doesn't it? So it's sort of,
yes,
you couldn't do something for them because you wanted to. It was tied up in all the things that they did for you, and there was a sense of having to reciprocate
yeah.
that in some way.
But see, that's the
Mm.
other thing that I've only lately, and only recently I've realized we mistake obligation for love.
Yeah, I read
And
that.
and
Yeah.
when I realized that,
Mm,
I went, oh my God. So
mm,
it's funny
yeah.
because my daughter the other day turned around, she goes, "You've turned into grandpa." Because my dad wouldn't
Oh.
hardly say anything, like it would be one word answers. And like the funniest thing is,
Mm.
g'day, Pop. We used to call him Pop. G'day, Pop, not
Mm.
bad.
Oh, good. He didn't even ask.
Not
Not
bad.
bad.
G'day, Pop, not bad. And we used to just laugh about it. And,
Shortest conversation ever.
and my daughter will walk past, she'll ask me, someone go, okay. And she goes, you turn into grandpa. And it's like, no, I choose to talk when I want to talk. Half the time I don't really talk. People think, oh, Michael talks all the time. No, I spend most days not
You,
talking. And,
you
and
save it up for specific
that's
occasions,
like,
do
I
you?
save it up for video, for Zoom calls. And
Super. Yeah, that's it.
but you know what it is? I said, no, I'm not. It's not that I've turned into an old bugger. I just choose now to say what I need to say and not be in the drama of things. And the kids will ring me. This happened, that happened, that happened. I go, okay, what are you going to do about it? As before, what do you mean?
Mm.
That person said that about you? Oh man, I'll fix them up. Now it's like, okay, so what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, yeah.
And they
It sounds
go,
terrible. What are you going to do? Yeah.
yeah. And it's like, God, it sounds insensitive, doesn't it? But that's who I've turned into because I don't want to be in the drama of it.
Well, I guess there's sort of like when it's your kids, like you want to hear what they're saying and feeling so that they can get it out.
Yeah.
Not enough to feed it and like loop it, but just so that they can express it and get it out and then go, oh, and then there's room for them to sort of go, mm, yeah, I think I'm going to do this about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, have that with my son.
And that's okay for them to vent, but don't take on the vent.
Yes.
Just go,
No,
okay.
don't feed it.
No,
Don't
don't feed, just
push it
go,
along.
yeah, yeah, just go, okay, okay.
Okay.
Well, what are you going to
Yeah.
I had my
What happened next? Yep.
I had my oldest ring me up about something. Oh, this and that. And I said, okay. So what are you going to do? Leave it to me. And within an hour, it all got solved.
Yeah, yeah.
In the
Well, it
past,
was like I guess you took them up to that mountain above the cloud of shit,
the
didn't you?
shit, yeah,
You sat up there and just gave them a bit of a time out to say, okay, this is
yeah,
this is what's happened. And in the act of saying something, in the act of expressing something, it gets it out of their head here. It starts making it clearer because
yeah,
you have to put form around it to describe something that's going on. And
yeah.
then in finding the right words to describe something, even if you have to fumble about, a bit like what I'm doing now,
That's okay.
fumble about to find the words for the concept, then it then starts to become clear how it needs to be managed or resolved.
Yeah. And most
So
of the
yeah,
time,
that
they'll work it out. You worked
yeah,
it out
that's
when you
right.
were, when you were younger. When you were younger,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
worked it out
yeah,
somehow.
yeah,
I didn't pick
yeah,
my mum and dad all the time. And this is the fine line. The fine line is you want them to come to you.
yeah,
And by them coming to you, you know that they respect you and the whole lot. But at the same time,
yeah.
you don't want them coming to you all the time so you can tell them what to do.
So you end up having to be you develop a facilitation role
Yes.
where you're just guiding and facilitating their process of figuring it out for themselves.
Yeah.
And is that what you're seeing is the purpose of your book then?
Yes. All that. And then things that we say. So in the book, I write how I always used to say, what do you think? I'm stupid or something?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
used to say it all the time. I had no idea I would say
yeah,
it. I would say it, but not realize or hear that I would say it all the time. And it wasn't until
yeah.
my ex-wife one day, she says, you say that all the time. I go, no, I don't. 5 seconds later, what do you
Mm,
think I'm stupid? Oh God, I do say it.
Cults.
And every time I would say it, I would stop
Yeah,
myself and go, oh my God,
yeah,
so that neural pathway doesn't exist anymore.
yeah.
Because I had a belief that I was stupid. So
Mm,
I would be building, three and a half, 4 million, $5 million homes for these
yeah.
multimillionaires, and I would call them the houses that stupid built. So how did stupid build these houses? So
Wow.
because growing up, I
Yeah,
was always told, "Oh, you're bloody stupid. You're bloody stupid.
yeah.
You're not hopper. Who would want to be with you?" This is
Mm,
what. So if you keep getting told that, you believe that
it's hard. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
subconsciously, and then you don't realize your self-worth,
yeah.
and you just think you're unworthy. So I'd be sitting there going, "Why is this multimillionaire talking to me about his home when I'm stupid?"
Mm,
Subconsciously, without realizing it.
mm,
And then I realized a while later, that they needed me. I didn't really need them. They needed my expertise to build their homes.
yeah,
I didn't really, really need them in a way that I needed the money, but I
yeah.
would people please to show them how clever I was to
Mm,
compensate for being stupid. That
yeah.
doesn't exist
When in fact
anymore.
they didn't see you as stupid, they saw you as
No,
someone with expertise that they were willing to pay for.
correct. And it was funny because I was what, 35 or 36 years old. And the next client came to one of my job sites and looked at me and he says, "No, I want someone older." Because he
Mm,
thought by having an older supervisor, his job would be better. But
yep.
his job ended up getting the best finishes of the year award in 1999. Right?
Take
And
that.
then, yeah. And then he would always come up to me and say, "Oh, how can we do this?" And I go, "That's easy. We'll do this, that." And so I got his respect. But again, when you don't realize your value,
Mm,
you just see yourself as worthless.
yeah. And you give away a lot of yourself in order to feel worthy and to gain a respect that there was already there. You just weren't feeling
Yeah.
it or you weren't seeing it.
And then
Yeah.
then resentment builds up.
Yeah.
And how many of us we just don't say anything, don't say anything, resentment, it starts to bubble, bubble, bubble. And then we get to the fuck you. Now I've realized that it's okay to say, hang on a minute, before the resentment
Yeah.
gets to that point, then I talk
Yeah.
about boundaries,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because if someone keeps crossing your boundaries and you keep letting them,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you go to the fuck you, they go, "Well, what's your problem? I've been able to say
Yeah.
that for the last 10 years and you've said nothing because I've let
Yeah.
you do it for the last 10 years and I've had enough."
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
So
Yeah.
your job is to stop it before it gets to that point.
Yeah.
And so,
And that can be painful at first until you do it enough that it becomes second nature and people stop pushing your boundaries quite so hard.
yeah. And
Yeah.
because if there's
Yeah.
no boundaries, they just think, "Oh, I could say whatever I like. This guy can take it."
Right.
Not
Yeah.
realizing that you're getting pissed off and they don't care because they don't realize that
No,
you're pissed off.
that's
And,
right.
and then they look at you when you do lose it and they go, "Are you on drugs or something?" And it's like, "What do you mean? Well, why didn't you say something so long ago?" So these are the sort of, can you see how everything ties back into the tip in the garden with just the
Yeah.
aspects of what we're talking
Absolutely.
about? And then we're talking
Yeah.
about forgiveness as well,
Yep.
And so that's why the whole book is to talk about my experiences and to open your eyes to who are you really? Where are you giving away your power to people when you don't realize you
Hmm.
have more power? You have the
Mm.
power,
Yep.
but we just give it away because of
Yep.
beliefs, because of upbringing, you know? I
Yep.
did a past life regression and it was back in the Egyptian days. And
Mm.
and I said, "What's going on?" She goes, "I'm pregnant." And I said, "Okay." And she goes, "But I'm not married." So she shamed the whole family. And they're digging
Uh,
a hole. I go, "Why are they digging a hole?" And they said, "To bury me in the
mm.
hole because I've shamed the family." And I've gone, And how do you feel about that? She goes, I'm okay with that because I've shown the family. See how
Wow.
believing. So this is in a past life
Mm.
regression. And I
Mm.
went, wow. So you're more than happy to die because you got pregnant and you've shamed the family. And that was in that past life. I went, isn't that amazing that she had no self-worth?
How did that pull forward? How did that impact on her current life?
She was going out with the guy behind the parents' back
Right.
that if they found out would shame the family.
Wow. So she had, could it be that she had an opportunity to do it differently this life?
Yes. Yeah. And
Mm.
stand up for herself. And
Yeah.
this
Wow.
lifetime say, you know what? Enough's enough.
Yeah,
So
that's it. Yeah.
it's either you bring the past life to the present life
Mm.
or it gets reframed and the forgiveness comes in
Yeah.
and forgive. And then that story changes. And then that person gets their power back, goes up to whoever and says, you know what? I am going out with this person. And,
Yeah.
I do love
Yeah.
this person, whatever. Um,
Yeah.
so past life stuff, and I sort of dabble a little bit here and there in the book about it, but it's so important because we do bring our past life stuff into our present. And
Absolutely.
I've done so many past life regressions now because even during the course, we had to do like we do a weekend and it'd be three past life regressions on a Saturday.
Oh
And
gosh.
I would
Oh
facilitate
wow.
three and they would facilitate three back to me. And it was just like, and then I had, how many times I've had a guy come up to me and yell at me and
Yeah.
point their finger at me. And it's like,
Wow.
and in this lifetime, I've had three blokes do that to me.
Yeah. Wow.
And I've decided that's it.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
last time that happened, I just turned around and said, that's it. I'm not talking to you anymore. See you later. I walked away. As yet,
Yeah. Wow.
when they abused me the first and second time, I would keep the friendship going
Yeah.
because I didn't
Wow.
have self-worth and didn't value
Yeah.
myself. As when
Yeah.
the third time came, I said, no, no one talks to me like that, you know? And yeah, it's a lot. So any other questions, Joe, about my book? I've gone into a lot of detail. Yeah.
No, that's
There's
okay.
so
No, that's
there's
good.
so
It's
much in
good.
there.
It's a huge topic. And it's a huge kind of like journey you've taken us on through. Um, I don't know. Where do you want to finish? Like, is there anything last? I mean, obviously we can buy the book from you, can buy the book from
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Well, the sun has moved around now, so
I
I'm in
know.
full sun now. I can't kind of hide from it
No, you
anymore.
can't. Can't crawl in your little hole.
No,
No, thanks, Joe.
no. Well,
It's been
that's
fun.
all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Cool.
Well,
Notice I have a lot of friends who are authors, and often when the first book comes out, there's something in the wings. It sort of like opens up the gate for,
yeah.
bringing through sort of like not necessarily a sequel, but often a sequel or
Hmm.
the next understandings. And it's a similar process, I guess. It, um, it's interesting about timing, though, isn't it? Things become ready when they're ready. And
Yeah.
like you say, you can't put something out um, from an ego perspective. It has to come from this is the right timing, and now I fully understand this, and this is how I put this out now.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, you're right because
it's a huge achievement to have written to have taken a concept through to a physical
yeah,
product, a physical object. And how did it feel when you opened your first book delivery and went,
it's
"Fuck,
surreal.
I'm an author"?
It's surreal. It really is. And
Did you have anyone with you, or did you open it all by yourself?
all by myself, you know.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's not something you can recreate, is it?
no, but I showed the kids and mainly the kids because I wanted them to see it. And
Yeah.
it's funny because I don't sit there thinking of myself as an author, which
No.
is quite interesting. And it's like, yeah, I've written a book, so where I
Well,
should be
it's one aspect. It's not your full identity, is it? It's
yeah.
one aspect.
But I am glad because I'm now can see that thank God I didn't write that book 8 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, it would have been out of ego. But now when you read it,
Yeah.
It's a story of myself, but it's not a victim story. I take
No.
responsibility for everything that's happened. I
Yep.
don't know if you realize that. And it's not from victimhood. It's not from, look at me, look how clever I am. And it's
No.
just, to me, it's like, this is what I've realized about life. I mean, 10 years time, it could be totally different. But, again, like we said, identity, who you are, what you are, finding out who you are. How many people have you heard, I'm lost? And sometimes being lost is a good thing because it makes you think about where to go next. So it's not a bad thing to be lost, but don't be lost.
No.
I remember
No.
seeing a thing where um, if you want love in your life, you're not going to get someone who's going to love you because you're not going to appreciate it, really. You're going to get someone who
Mm.
doesn't love you so you can appreciate loving yourself.
Mm.
If you want
Mm.
to have patience, they'll send someone who's totally impatient to test your patience. So you
Yeah.
need the
Yeah.
opposite to understand that. So I could sit there
True.
going, my life is so good and I'm single and, what have you. But there are challenges when you're with someone.
Mm.
And yeah, you can be stuck in your own little home and it's comfortable, it's safe and the whole lot. And then as we spoke about connection, then you're totally disconnected
Mm.
because you're too
You have
worried
to work out
about,
different ways.
yeah, you're worried about your feelings getting hurt or whatever story that you've got, whatever belief you've
Yep.
got. So sometimes we need we need the opposite to get to where we want. So
Yeah.
I needed those
Interesting.
parents. I needed those parents to call me stupid. I needed those parents because I'm divine wisdom and divine order is
Yeah.
as a soul profile. So now that I see how all that panned out, thank God they did what they did and what they called me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my journey along the way was to wake up to it, get the clarity, understand what's going on, and then the
Yeah.
fight between, which has always been being a Greek in Australia, even though I was
Mm.
born here, the Greek way of
Yeah.
living and the Australian way of
Yeah.
living, and somehow trying to simulate between the two.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was always the hardest part.
Yeah.
And until you know
Yeah.
yourself better,
Yeah.
then you can go forward in life and be more comfortable within yourself, And those old clothes
Yeah.
don't fit anymore.
No,
So
they don't.
you keep trying to wear that old suit that you had 20 years ago, or you
Yeah.
throw it away and get the new one and move forward.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's it. Or just not wear a suit at all, wear something else.
that's right. What is it? What was it? W.C. Fields said, he goes, the only thing good about the old days, it was cheaper.
That's true. That is so true.
Yeah, so true. Thanks, Joe. It's been great.
That's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks.